Hi. Um, I just thought I would make a little video, seeing as it's Domestic Abuse Awareness Month, being October, and tell you a little bit about the abuse that I went through and where I am now, how I got out of it. I think the important thing to say at the very beginning is that I am out of it. I've been out of it for quite some time, probably about 7 or 8 years. I'm with my partner now, who is the total polar opposite of my ex-husband. And I never ever thought it would be possible to find somebody normal. I never ever dreamed that I would get out of that relationship. I thought I was in it forever. So for me to be here, survived it, I just find absolutely amazing. I had a lot of counselling going back a few years ago about it, because there was so much control, manipulation, emotional abuse, financial abuse, cruelty. It was torturous on times. I was so frightened most of the time. I could feel every organ in my body shaking on times. There was a lot of I'm not sure if we can say it on here, but abuse, SA, shall we call it? I hope you understand what I mean. I'm sure you do. Involved over the years as well. So when I came out of that relationship, and I mean escaped it with my life, I went through a lot of counselling to help me get back to a normal way of thinking, because I was on high alert. I could, when I think back to how I was, I weren't even functioning properly. I couldn't talk to my new partner without expecting him to react in the same way. And I felt sorry for him, but he was so patient, and it worked out so well in the end, you know. But it was a long struggle. So I'll just give you a little bit of background a minute. I met my ex-husband when I was 19, in 1999, just after my 19th birthday. He was, I think, 26 at the time, so he was quite a bit older than me. He had been married before, was going through a divorce. He had spent a good few years in the army. So it was a bit of, old school army. He always used to say, the army breaks the boy to build the man, and all this. His father was in the army. He was the same, very dim view on women, and quite bullying in nature. So they were cut from the same cloth, and I think he went into the army to impress his father. Sorry. So when I met him, the next, over that first year, there was a lot of arguments between him and his ex-wife, because she didn't want him seeing the children that they had. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl. She didn't want him seeing the children because he had spent time in prison because he hit her and he beat up the man she was then with at the time. Now, she did have an affair with our man behind his back, And when he told me about this, being in prison and the reasons why he hit her and the reasons why he beat him up, he made me believe that it was all her fault. She deserved what she got. She cheated on him, and she deserved that. Now, as I said, I was 19 at the time, very naive, very immature as well. I was still living with my parents. I had no experience with aggression. You know, my dad was so laid back. He was so lovely. So I never experienced any of this. Never experienced any divorce or custody arguments, anything. So this was all brand new to me. I hadn't formed my own opinions. I weren't aware of red flags. Nothing. And this was just all new. I was thrust into all of a sudden, you know, being a stepmother at 19. You know, having to navigate him having his children on the weekends. And there was no introduce slowly. These were his kids and I had to deal with it. That's how he was, very forceful, very opinionated. And he would go at you with his opinions until you broke and agreed with him. So that's how things started. It was also, you know, a great laugh. You know, all our friends were together. We'd all go out, you know, drinking together. So these little problems I didn't realise were happening at the beginning. I learnt in my counselling that you have a circle of acceptance. And once you accept one little tiny bad behaviour, the next bit of disrespect, violence, aggression, whatever, your circle of acceptance gets bigger and bigger each time. So now I can see that that is exactly what was happening. He had a flat then that, you know, his daughter would go to. He didn't see his son. His wife was successful in stopping him seeing his son. But his daughter would be there. I would have to navigate this. I didn't know how to be with, you know, somebody else's children in that capacity. So it was very, very difficult. There was a divorce going on, custody, and slowly but surely I got to witness the aggression and the nastiness. When things wasn't going his way with her, he would punch holes in the doors, punch holes in the walls, smash things like dishes, and that honestly like terrified me. But when he would calm down, and I mean, I would be almost chasing him around the house at this point, going, what, you know, panicking and trying to sort things out, trying to, you know, calm him down, or, you know, things like this. I didn't know what to do in these situations. And when he calmed down, he would always then be, you know, it's not your fault. I only done that because I was frustrated with her. So I took it out on you because of her, making me then hate her even more because she was causing this in my life. And I was terrified. I was so scared. Little did I know that was just the tip of the iceberg. So that's how it started. And I started really hating her and resenting her. And then he would be like, see, I told you she was a horrible person. Look what she's doing to us. Look what she's making me do. Look how she's making me behave. And I totally and utterly bought into it. That was the beginning of my circle of acceptance getting bigger and bigger. We lived together then. From that point onwards, there was more of the same, punching holes in doors, you know, all these sort of behaviours, but there was always an excuse behind it, and I bought every single excuse. So that's a bit of the background story of how it all started. I'm going to upload this video because it's 10 minutes long, and I'll try and get on to another video as well. Another reason for me doing these videos is, obviously, I would love people to watch them and give somebody who's going through the same thing a little bit of hope and advice on, you know, how to navigate it, because it's awful. But also, it's quite therapeutic, I think, to get your story out and get it off your chest, and almost see what other people think of the situation, and if they've been through the same. Is it showing you know, resemblance of their relationships? So I'm hoping to get a lot of therapy for me out of this, but also to help other people as well. So that's the aim for these videos. I know I've rambled on. I don't know what I'm doing with these videos, to be honest. I'm just talking. So yeah, I'm going to upload this now, and I will make another one to go a bit further into the relationship.